Make sure,
Yeah, 1 2 1 2. We want to welcome y'all to another edition of We Say What They Can't. I'm your instigator. I'm not even the moderator. I'm just the instigator. and I woke up on the petty side of the pillow, so I'm gonna start trouble today with Shonda. I'm Cinemax. Excuse me. To my right, we got my man Pyro the Fireman.
Yo, Pyro, we in the building. Another Sunday. I'm ready to go in today, y'all.
Yo, you never see Pyro wear hats too. Like, I'm kind of shocked.
Let's go. Nah, I got the cut. We say what they can, you know.
Promotion.
On the website.
Cross branding.
$20. Holla.
Yeah. P.S. died.
Yeah, I got a right to be hostile. My people been persecuted. You already know what kind of week this is, man.
Oh, yeah. The one and only Cinemax.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, fun day. It's your girl, Cinemax, Best Stars Finest. What's going on, y'all?
I didn't know that was your slogan, Best Stars Finest.
Yeah, you know.
You ain't check me. You ain't check with me for that.
I gotta keep.
Oh, sweet. Oh, listen. Put some respect on my name. I heard you say Shonda a minute ago.
I'm sorry. I don't want no problems. I know you run with them COs. I don't want no problems.
That's right.
We gotta welcome back my man, birthday boy from not too long ago, C Smooth.
Hey,
Yeah,
welcome back.
He's on the cameras. Welcome back. We got a dope show for y'all today. It's gonna take a serious tone, but we're gonna try to have some fun, shed some light on it. Cinemax, where we going first?
Well, we have a few rest in peace. Sadly, we got what's his name, Raiden Nunn.
I'm calling Radio Raheem.
Radio Raheem, right?
Stuff,
Everybody don't know him as his government name,
Yeah,
but
Radio
yeah.
Raheem.
No, I'm saying like his government name, but
I don't know that.
you know, rest in peace. He, they kind of put Brooklyn out there, do the right thing, Spike Lee. So we want to give him a rest
Love,
in peace.
hate, the Dutta Man.
I know.
Yes, sir.
And rest in peace to Shorty Low.
They
That
know.
was-
Cinemax, how many? No. P.S. How many batteries did he ask for in that movie?
We just throwing people on the spot. Like
I told you I woke up in the petty side.
how
of the
many
pillow.
D batteries he had?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I watched it yesterday too. That's what's crazy. I watched that part yesterday.
We'll say that's just the type of
20.
24.
24.
Which is close, though, 24.
I was gonna say 10, 12.
I'll be back. I'll give you a chance to get your rematch. But speak about, Radio
Oh,
Raheem.
man. When I saw that, and I saw it was official, because now you can't really believe what you see on social media. But I saw Spike Lee post it. Yo, you know how you feel like you know somebody? I
Yeah.
felt like I know him. Like, love, hate, and just do the right thing, man. That's my neighborhood, man. That's the blocks I walk on. And even, I started thinking about New Jack City. like, you know what I mean? Like, he had a big effect on me without even being, quote-unquote, the biggest actor out there. But he had a memorable role, man. Radio Raheem, that's a memorable role, man.
Yeah.
Forefinger on. He had the forefinger. Two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it was a memorable role. And what happened to him in that flick?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took my line. That's
It's like that's crazy. It's just it's what we gonna talk about today. But rest in peace to him. Love, hate.
That's it. He took my words. Man. I copy and paste. Copy and paste Pyro.
What's going on with this Game and Meek Mill situation?
I don't know, but I like it.
You do?
I like it. I am like hip hop is so boring right now. So long as it stays.
That's what I was
in the
about to
booth,
say.
you know what I'm
As long as
saying?
nobody gets
As long
hurt.
as saying, I'm with it. I'm all with it, man. Let's just leave the kids and the parents, but cause he got that Sean Kingston moms for the mustache. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta leave that alone. But other than that, I'm with it. I love it, man.
He was in the Star this week too. He was on
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what's
yeah.
that? Macon
Yeah.
filming part of the Ooh clap back.
You was, I know that's your type of people. You was over there. You got
I
a
was
cameo?
actually at grandma's house, but I didn't know that they were out there till I got home. Cause I probably would have
You
went
went out
through.
there?
Yeah, with I didn't have a We Say What They Can't mic, but
So was no need to go out there.
You go through.
I could have got a little interview going maybe.
Yeah, with the offer.
I didn't know though. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yo, also, before we get into anything, first of all, we gotta give ourselves a congratulations for launching our website. You know what I'm saying? We had our first produced podcast show, the King Darnell Show. It'll be up on the page sometime tonight. So, listen, you can go there for your merchandising, your shirts, your shirts, your hats, your wristbands. We looking for bloggers. Whatever you need.
Check us out.
Maybe we get Tremaine Wright to do a blog or something.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll say that for when she gets here.
Oh. Go ahead, Pop. Go ahead.
before we jump into something, have y'all been seeing this Empire Power?
Oh, but yeah,
beef going on, man. Yo,
50 so petty.
He's a little bit more petty than me.
Yeah, no, he's a lot more petty than you.
I gotta get that crown back.
Yeah.
Did you hear his explanation? He said, "Listen, I'm a natural born drug dealer. This is what we do. We take over." Right? That's your petty excuse. Petty excuse. Why don't you pick on some other show? Why it has to be the other show that's filled with a black cast? Like,
right.
That's the thing that like is room for both. I don't get it. Some of it's funny, but it comes to a point where like 50's been doing this for a long time now, and it's always, especially like in these times, what's even going on this week, to divide and conquer of our own peoples, or what we always trying to do to make a come up. I can't continue to laugh at that.
That crab in the bedroom mentality.
Yeah.
You know why I
It's
think
crazy
it's
to me.
harmless? Like, when was the last time y'all saw somebody answer back 50?
They don't.
Everybody's figured
really.
it out. If you don't answer them back,
it dies down. But
it dies
Jussie
down.
Smollett, he
He
came
answered
back.
back.
Yeah, he answered back yesterday.
Vivica got at him.
What's the
Vivica, she can't
Taraji
tolerate.
answered back.
Answer back.
answered
All
back.
them answered
Yeah.
back this time.
She checked
She
him.
checked
Yeah,
him on
first
it, you
time,
know.
I know.
But
Small change or something. Yeah, she came at him.
that's
But
crazy.
it's just like he's a bully. He's a bully.
And I like 50. That's
Me
that's
too.
crazy, you know. Shout out.
But he don't have to be like that. But I guess it works for him. I guess.
Oh, hey, before I forget, man. Great career, KG, man. Great career. He retired. Nothing
Really?
Like, yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
KG Duncan and Kobe gone, man. It's a different NBA right now. I'm just saying, it's a different league.
That's
He's
because we
going-
getting older, y'all.
And R.I.P. to that pitcher who passed away. Found him in a boating accident. Jose
Fernandez.
Jose
Fernandez.
Fernandez. Yeah, for the
24
Marlins.
years old. All of the world in front of him. He was dope.
You
It's
just
sad.
never know.
Sad stories, man. It's a lot of sad stories this week. But, you know, we just got to continue to live and live right. So, speaking of that, let's bring in our guest of this week.
Now listen, I'm gonna give you the warning because I like you. I'm gonna give you the warning. That mic tends to fall.
Miss Tremaine Wright.
That mic. No, put that phones on. Put that phones on. What's going on?
Not too much.
Yes, welcome.
Congratulations. Congratulations on your victory.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like how does it? Come on, let's go.
It is phenomenal. I'm super happy. I'm Tremaine Wright. I'm the 56th Assembly District Democratic nominee for the New York State Assembly. I will be on the ballot in November 8th. So don't forget, when you go vote for Hillary, go all the way down the ballot. I'll be at the bottom. I need you to check my name. Because I will appear both as the Working Family Party's candidate as well as the Democratic.
Now let me tell you what you did that I respected so much. Usually, because I've seen De Blasio, a couple of them on Fulton Street, handing out the flyers before the election. So my man PS was like, "Yo, guess who I just this after you won? Guess who I just saw?" I was like, "She's still out?" I was like, "Yeah." Yes, I rock with it. And my mother made sure I voted that.
Yes.
So you voted, you know, you about to snap on your mother, but you catch yourself like, Mom, yes, I voted. I definitely voted.
Thank
You know what I'm saying? So you definitely had our vote. Yes.
Congratulations, definitely.
Yes, definitely. So,
She said she got about 20 questions for you. She said.
All right. Go. You ready?
well, we grew up across the street from each other, okay? I was on Jefferson and Patchen. You were on the next block. So how was it growing up in Bed-Stuy?
I love Bed-Stuy. So to me, growing up in Bed-Stuy was wonderful. I liked my neighbors. I enjoyed it. I know the people next door to me.
Right.
I like the people. I like the whole culture of my neighborhood.
Right.
I think our neighborhood is just like everybody else's. You got good, you got bad, you got the people doing really well, the people that are struggling. But for some reason, we all came together.
Exactly.
And I think that that's what community is. So I am extremely proud that I'm from Bed-Stuy. I am happy that I'm there, and I don't plan to go anywhere.
You said something that was interesting. Like different people in our neighborhood doing different things. I remember watching, I think it was Dave Chappelle Block Party, and he was describing Bed-Stuy. He said, it's funny, you can have some blocks it looks like the Cosby Show, and then some blocks it looks like Good Times. And that I always think of that, and I laugh.
But that's our family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see that's it. But when you see the Bed-Stuy now, I was about to say the style, but I can say that to you. When you see the style now, how do you feel where we going, or where's Bed-Stuy going, Brooklyn going with gentrification and everything? Because the neighborhood is definitely changing, definitely for people of color.
What we're
Good word,
seeing,
yes,
in
that was
my
a good word,
opinion,
gentrification.
We're seeing we are seeing a lot of new people come to the neighborhood.
Come to the mic.
But we're also seeing a lot of us remain in our neighborhood. So all the disparity that existed before still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. The people the new faces that you see that are getting a whole lot of attention tend to be white. So people are noticing it. But they live 4 deep in an apartment that's made
Exactly.
Yeah, no
and so
doubt.
I don't like when people try to, they get confused and they think because a new demographic is coming in, they doing a struggle as well. So
That's true.
the people that we need to be concerned about are the people we don't see who are dropping money into our neighborhood. And we're like, wait a second, a big development company, why all of a sudden are Chinese, Israeli, and Australian companies trying to spend money on apartments in my neighborhood? Homes that used to be $600,000 selling for $1 million.
Right. Exactly.
I always beg the question, and I know I'm on the radio. You
Do you
saying
think-
what you
No,
can.
do your thing.
exactly. Say what we say. What they
Look,
can.
all I want to know is where the money's coming from.
For real. For real. No,
Because that's really the bottom line. Suddenly, lots of money is being I should say, passed through my neighborhood, and nobody's asking any questions. But when large amounts of money that were related to either crack or cocaine or weed even pass through my neighborhood, there's lots of questions. So it makes me think we got to ask some questions.
I agree.
Most definitely.
So you went away to Duke,
Yes, Duke.
and I see President Obama was one of your professors. How was that?
I enjoyed Mr. Obama when he was Mr. Obama and as my professor. But I would say President Obama is exactly what you see on TV.
Really?
He is a calm, a cool. He's a cool brother.
Yeah.
And he came across in the classroom. It comes across the screen. It comes across in the manner in which he and his wife interact. I am such a fan of the Obamas. I love the fact that they are on stage in front of the world showing black love and support for one another. And I would say my entire career, from knowing him as a student to now being one of his constituents in this country, I'm so proud of that man.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
I am. No, I am.
Just to stay with the Obama theme, and I gotta let my man get a question off because she skipped. P. Diddy, Sean Combs made a statement about Obama. How do you feel about it? Do you feel he said he don't think he did enough. He shortchanged the black community. How do you feel about that?
I think when we look back over the presidency, we're going to see a lot of positive things that he has done.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that he was the president for only black people. I think he was the president for America.
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of us have benefited from an improved economy, from being able to get better. We've gotten better jobs. We are able to maintain our homes. A lot of us refinance and we're able to salvage. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that the bailout was the best program that we could have come up with, but I think that it did benefit a large number of us. And even our healthcare system, while this is not in any way perfect, and I think there's a lot more that we can do, I think that those are two things that have really helped stabilize our community. And I think when we look back, we're going to say that this was a very good president.
No doubt.
I definitely 100% agree. I think this is one of those situations where it's going to take him not being in office no more for people to appreciate what he's done in office. Could he have done more for the black community? Maybe he said a word here or there, but what good really would that have done when they held this man back from trying to do anything he wanted to do? All he did in office for 8 years was fight Congress, the Senate. So his hands was tied, and he still got much more accomplished. And the direction it was going in before he took over the presidency, this wouldn't have maintained.
Right.
We might not be sitting here right now. So I definitely agree with you on that fact.
And even the people that he placed in the DOJ, Holder and Lynch, have been working on our behalf. And that's where the work, in the climate that we're in right now, with all of these, I guess it's unresolved killings. And I'm calling it unresolved because what the justice that's been given out or doled out through whatever investigations have happened have not appeared nor felt like justice to much of our community. But the DOJ stepped in. They're giving it attention, and I think that that's where it lies. And we have to rely on our president to put the right people in place to even address it.
Right.
When he was your professor, did he have political aspirations back then?
He was already
a state senator?
Yes.
Okay, and come back. All right, but I had a quick question for you before we go on. You said you going to be on the ballot as in the working families and Democratic
Yes.
Party. I was always confused at that. Does that not split the vote?
No.
Or does both? It counts no matter where you check it, whichever category it's in.
It counts no matter which party you choose. You can vote on either party line. That is an indicator for which party you want to support. But you still get to support the candidate.
Okay.
Thanks for clarifying that, Pyro. You know.
I used to research.
Yeah, no,
process.
I was like, that's true. Yeah, that's it. We got our information going this morning. So it says that you're a small business owner. Tell us about your business.
Well, I operated and owned Common Grounds, a neighborhood coffee house over on Tompkins between Jefferson and Putnam for 9.5 years. We just closed our doors about 8 months ago. And so we spent almost 10 years there. We were a coffee house. We were one of the first ones in the neighborhood.
I'm about to see you jumped on that fast.
Yeah.
You like Friends or something? Oh, more Friends than Brooklyn. All right.
So,
Come on.
but it really was a community gathering space. It was the opportunity for folks that normally wouldn't talk to each other to get together in our neighborhood. So we have everybody that's little, say, poetry professors and writers coming together with, the handyman in the neighborhood that goes around and fixes everything or carries your bag, and everybody in between. And it was really nice to have community like that. Folks that came together, supported one another, and really started to demonstrate care in the community, where I think a lot of us started to splinter off, especially with the new folks arriving. A lot of the new folks were us.
The new folks.
Right.
The new folks were a lot of black people who arrived from other places, and that was an opportunity for them to connect with other folks in our community.
Have you guys ever sat in a coffee house and like mingled? I've never done that.
No, I haven't.
You know, you see people at Starbucks and they be sitting there reading their books with the laptops and stuff. I be walking by like, I've never done that.
It is surprising. People treat it just like a bar.
I
So
think
they come in and they bend your ear. They tell you everything that's going on. You know all about their families, and a lot of things connect because somebody met each other in the coffee shop.
So, speaking of bars, you've had plenty of events at some bars.
Well, what's going on? Wait.
Yeah.
Get that vote.
Yes.
That's why I voted.
I support small businesses.
That's right. So, what's your drink of choice?
Wow. Right now, I like whiskey. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Little Jack, little Jack.
I do like Jack, but then I'm also gonna say, what is it right now that I like the Moscow. It's a Moscow Mule, so that's also made with a whiskey.
Okay.
I like that as well, but I do like Jack. I love a good margarita. If you got a good tequila,
Yeah.
so I don't discriminate.
Yeah, you drink.
Oh, shout to Lord Jinx,
Shout
DJ
to
Lord
Jinx.
Jinx.
Hey,
Where you
Jinx.
come from, Jinx?
Hey, James.
I had to sneak in, man. Traffic was ridiculous today, man.
That's what I said?
But no. I said try Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is a good whiskey, scotch, yeah.
I had a whiskey, a pickled whiskey shot before. They give you half whiskey, half pickle juice, and you take it down.
That sounds
That
almost
doesn't
like
sound
what is it? A dirty martini. It reminds me of
Yeah.
a dirty martini family. A woman I was at the caucus this past weekend, and a woman mixed a martini with, what did she put in there? It was a brown liquor, which completely surprised me. And I can't even remember what she was using, but it ended up being quite tasty. And I was like, this is really different, but yes, I'm with you. Try it, taste it, just like food. You eat every color of the fruit, you'll stay healthy, try all the drinks, you'll be all right.
I can attest. What? Change it up real quick.
Yes.
How can I say this? This is crazy. You said you had a coffee shop on Tompkins between Jefferson, right? 5 minutes up from your coffee shop, I forget how long ago it was, where the 2 officers got killed, right? And then you see everything that's going on in the country now with the police shootings. And what do you think policing should be the number one, or one of the number one issues that the candidates, the presidential candidates, should have? Because in my opinion, I don't feel like it's at the forefront. It's only at the forefront when it happens.
I think the conversation about justice needs to be at the forefront. And what happens when we have systems that allow us to wholeheartedly discriminate against people and to treat them without respect and/or justice. Policing happens at a local level. So our president talking about how you police in Cleveland or New York City or Chicago might be almost moot unless he's talking about in a global way. But I think what we need to do is hold our local officials we've got to hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, that's true.
And we've got to make them have a conversation about what policing looks like, what we want to see police, and what are the repercussions for those who don't follow the program. Right now, what we're seeing is a lot of people doing things that are supposedly unauthorized. Never use the word illegal. Unauthorized, not mandated, something that would be only in the most severe cases. And they're all getting off because they have some reasonable fear. And we've got to start defining what the reasonable fears are, because just saying someone's 6 feet tall, it falls short. It doesn't ring true because we all have 14 and 15-year-olds who are 6 feet tall.
If you guys have if you guys have 8 guns, 8 tasers against this one person in a bulletproof vest, what are you scared of?
But you were trained.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Right. So I feel like we've got to start to hold our more local officials accountable and start making them have that conversation about what we will allow police to actually police. One, I think police are supposed to be my public servant.
Right.
And whenever I approach them, I try to remind them of that so that they know that they work for me. And it's the same way when people asked me, when I was asking them for their vote, and they said, what are you going to do? And I was like, the better question is, what do you want me to do? I'm asking you for the job. You tell me. And so I think we've got to get back to the place where we're telling police and police forces, this is what we expect from you, and it's to protect people. It is to make us safer, not to feel as though that we are our activities are being policed and watched and monitored. So we have to change how we train police officers.
I agree. I mean, a lot of it goes with the thinking. I mean, look at the guy who was killed with his hands up on the highway, with the people in the helicopter from how many feet up said, wow, look at that he looks like a big bad man. Like, that bothered me before I even saw the shooting. Like, he looks like a big bad, what makes him look like a big bad man? Like, so it just comes with, I don't know, how do you shift the thinking of a lot of America? And we're seeing it coming out right now in this presidential election. Like, everybody's saying something.
It's bias and prejudice being able to play out under our existing rules. So either we need to change the rules so that that's no longer acceptable. We didn't say that you can't be prejudiced anymore. We just said schools have to be integrated. That you can't deny somebody the right because they're black. Right. We've got to stop saying you cannot shoot people just because they're black.
Exactly.
Right.
You cannot automatically assume that a black person is armed. We've got to put those, and I know that it already says it, we just don't actually abide by it at this point. But we've got to start to put those thoughts into legislation that makes it wrong for someone to act on their bias and their beliefs, and they've got to act on the facts.
Right.
And then we've got to hold them accountable.
That's right.
So at some point, we're going to have some kind of transparency. We're going to have to stop them from policing on small infractions, because that usually is what we're using to open the door so that people can act on their own biases.
Yeah.
I watched.
Oh, Jinx. Can somebody else get a question off cinematic?
Well, no, mine wasn't 100% a question, but it was also just going off of what you were saying as far as the one thing, though, even when people come up that they know have guns and have, are harmful to them, they end up alive.
Yeah.
We know that
crazy.
We know that police can disarm someone. We know that they can shoot and not kill them. And we know that they have successfully apprehended the young man that killed all of the people in the church in South Carolina.
Right.
The young man that set off the bombs in 23rd Street last weekend.
Boston.
All apprehended alive. Yep. So we know it's possible. It's just never done when the potential suspect is black.
That's right.
I mean, that video that came out yesterday, did y'all see the other side, the other angle of that video? That was so disturbing. Like, that man did absolutely nothing but back out of his car like he was told to do. And where was the gun that they talked about in the press conference? Where was the black cop who they say he was shot by a black cop? There wasn't a black cop in that video. You know what I'm saying? And it's so disturbing how much lies and propaganda is put out there. And go ahead.
I saw a video of what's the other gentleman that was shot in a car? They said he was waiting for his daughter.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So they showed a video of somebody dropping a gun on the scene. Did you saw it? It was like in slow motion. They had a video up and it was going in slow motion. It was baffling, yo. I was like, wow. It's not like we don't know these things happen, but to see it in your face is just like, it's disheartening. And I watched a video yesterday of a 15-year-old girl being arrested and maced by police officers because she refused to let them check her. Yeah, because she got hit by a and she said, I'm okay. And they wanted her to call her parents and she was like, I'm okay. Yeah. And they arrested her and maced her.
I saw that rape thing.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was terrible. Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It was
was
it an NYPD officer?
No, it was. I thought it was Georgia.
No, NYPD.
Okay.
NYPD officer in the cell with a female inmate raped her on video.
Yeah, on video. And then then all of a sudden it got taken down. All of a sudden it got taken down.
I mean,
it's
crazy. It's crazy when I'm hearing your answer, and I agree with everything you said. But what do you say to the people like me who feel a lot of police, not all, but a lot of police, a lot of politicians, just a lot of people in general don't have good intentions? Like, because there's a lot of people out here who just don't have good intentions, and then they lead a lot of ignorant people the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, I use Trump for example. I don't feel Trump has good intentions. And I don't feel Trump is stupid by no means, but he's leading a lot of disheartened, ignorant people who, poor people, and they buy into a lot of stuff that's going on. How do we fix that? Like, because I feel if we start at the police level and we don't start at the schooling level, like, if you learn something different about people of color, maybe you have a different respect for people of color. Yeah. Like, I have a certain respect for myself because what I know about myself. And maybe that lack of respect is part of the problem. I mean, that's what I feel.
I think we have to tap into our own hope. We have to tap into our own self-worth, and we've got to project that. I know that there's pockets of us, we go to church, we sing in a choir, we go to Girl Scouts, we do whatever we do. But we've got to start to make sure that is what like you said, other people are learning about us. That is being conveyed, and not just, like, I'm so proud that the museum is opening this weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I know that everybody's not going to make it to the museum, and I know that the museum exhibit is not going to change hearts and minds. But we've got to start to change hearts and minds. But we also got to change our hearts, our minds. We have some culpability as a community and as families. But we've got to be very concerned that we are teaching our children to behave, to have self-respect, to love themselves, and to love the people that look like them. And once we change our conversation, we can change the conversation of others. There's some things that I don't think legislation will ever be able to touch. And whether people have good intentions or not are one of them. But how we allow, what space we give them in our mind, what space we give them on our radio shows, in our conversation, in our songs, we can't do it. We can't allow, like, I give the other person running I'm with her, and I don't give the other person running any thought time, or he gets no coverage on my station. Like, it's not going to happen that way. I don't give him space. That's not part. It's just like I have an 8-year-old nephew. I speak positivity to that young man. Right. If he does something right, or if he needs to work on it, either way, I'm going to convert that conversation into a positive. I want him to be figuring it out. It's not going to be it's wrong. It's how can we fix this? How can we make it better? And I think we've got to change that language for ourselves too. But as a community, how do we start to change the conversation so that violence that's both at the hands of the police as well as one another is just as inflammatory for us, and it burns in our spirit that we want to fix it, that we know that this is not acceptable.
Right.
Because if we're inflamed and upset when any child of ours dies, then we're not going to be able to sit quietly when the young man who got caught in crossfire dies, or the man who dies at the hands of a police officer. Right. And we want it to be justice across the board. But we do have some community responsibility.
Well, speaking of that, like, growing up, not gonna lie, all I knew was an election, okay, you got your president, your mayor, your governor. As I got older, I'm realizing, like you said, these local officials. That's more for our community. How can we help and get others people, to see like, you got to get this person and you got to get this councilman, this Brooklyn councilman. What's the best way to go about doing it?
I'm going to say, just stay in touch with, you know what? Here's the most basic thing. If you see something wrong, call and complain about it.
Who do we complain to?
You're going to call 311, and then you're going to call your local community board.
Okay.
Those people are on the ground. They're all volunteers. I've been on my board for 13 years. You start to see how government works. And don't get me wrong, this is a lot of work. People show up to these meetings every single month. They participate. They work on the projects. They make demands for what needs to be fixed in our neighborhood. But that's the most local version of government, and it's open to everybody. All you have to do is show up.
Yeah.
And you don't have to show up regularly. You can show up once a month, every third month if you want to, but it gives you access. So please call and make a complaint and reach out to your community boards, and then please keep the radio waves open. Let people know that there are local races, that once the light pole is fixed, that they know that, we were able to get it fixed because city government has these representatives, and this is who we contacted. So it really is about us talking about it and letting people know, because those things fall to the wayside and nobody's paying any attention to it.
Sure. So you brought up the presidential election before and voting for Hillary. So I guess we team Hillary over here.
I am.
So so let's touch on that a little bit. What would happen if she didn't win? Did you see Don King's press conference this week?
I did not see it.
Oh, good. Don't see it. don't see it. Because I can tell you it ruined the rest of my days. It's dudes like that. It's like straight. That's the. If you looked up the meaning of coonery,
you picked my brain.
In the dictionary, it's what. First of all, what rock did y'all look under to hire this man as the spokesman for black people to speak
for Trump, though? But
y'all knew this already.
But who's robbed more black men than Don King?
Exactly.
Y'all knew this already. And who got the closest relationship with Trump? He got to throw his boxing matches at Trump
Plaza.
Exactly.
They get a lot of money to. I forgot you like boxing.
Yeah, boxing, man.
I got to get this off, man. This frustrated the hell out of me, yo. Donald Trump sitting next to Don King, and those 3 or 4 white men sitting behind him. Those powers that be, cracking up, laughing when he's like, if you a broke person, he's talking about black people, you're a broke Negro. If you're smart Negro. Yeah, if you're rich, you're a rich nigga. I mean Negro. And everybody's sitting there cracking up laughing at. If that's not it was so demeaning, it was so disrespectful, and I'm pissed off that the media forget what Don King said. He doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. But those men laughing around it, and America not being front page and all this other stuff besides the bull crap, forget your emails. Stuff like that needs to be put out there. And if Donald Trump becomes the president, it's going to be a lot of trouble, not just locally or nationally, but around the entire world. Because you cannot take back certain things. And we do not control all of the media. We control this media. They control this media.
Yeah, Pyro.
They control this media, except for this show, because we say what they can't.
Absolutely.
And we do what we want.
Absolutely.
But they don't control the international media, and it's dangerous grounds we going on. But your opinion?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying, I think that you hit the nail on the head. It is dangerous. I don't think that he has anyone's interest at heart other than his own.
Right.
Telling me that I have nothing to lose, so go vote for him, is not endearing. It doesn't warm my heart, and I find it insulting.
Yeah.
And I hope most other people are insulted by that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad I missed that press conference. I hope I never see it.
Jeez.
And I do hope that everybody forgets and it falls into the abyss, and that it never surfaces, because that is shameful.
Yeah.
And it's shameful that we have a grown man who felt comfortable ridiculing himself and his people for everybody else's benefit. I want no parts of it. I want to stay far away from that.
Far away from it. It ruined my afternoon.
Yeah. How do you feel about another thing Trump always says when things come up and people complain about America? If you don't like America, then leave. Like, you hear a lot of Americans say that. You hear Trump say that. If you don't like it here, this is the greatest country. I'm going to let you respond. But in my opinion, that bothers me, because I do feel America is the greatest country on this earth. But it's great because it was built for free. They always omit that part, like it's great just because it's great. Like, no, it's great because it was built for free. And then the people that built it, we catch the help for it. Do you feel like when people say that, do you feel insulted or you feel like, yeah, what he's saying is true, but like, how do you feel about that?
I would just say, so where would you like for me to go? Like, give me some real. Like, if somebody tells me, if you don't like it, leave. Where would you like for me to go? And normally the answer is wherever you. No, they say wherever you came from, and I'm like, find it, because they can't. Right. I've done my genealogy. It stopped somewhere in the Carolinas. So if you can't tell me where, then if you can't show me where and give me a ticket there, then you can't tell me to go somewhere.
Are we gonna see your name on the ballot for President Wednesday?
I do not know. But right now, I'm going to start with the assembly.
Okay. As an attorney, so I had another question. As an attorney, the Anthony Weiner situation, right? How would you defend him in this situation? All right, one with the expose, and then two with the 15-year-old.
Would you take the case personally?
No. No.
But you had to. You had to.
Offended, it just made me take it.
Yeah.
Don't even
$5
know
million.
I'll
give you $5 million.
You can't even pay for that kind of foolery. And no, I don't even know.
So let's go to
how he
public defender. Public defender.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to be defended and say the child told him she was 15. I don't even know. At that point, it should have stopped. So I have no idea what they would say. And thank you, Jesus. I am not going to ever be asked to defend that because I don't know where they go from there.
It's crazy.
I feel bad for his wife, his family.
He's sick.
I feel bad for the children that he keeps coming in contact with. I don't like. How did he find this 15-year-old, and how do we stop it? That's the real question.
They said she reached out to him.
Yeah. How do we as a parent stop that?
Right.
Because that's horrible. Like, I need to know exactly what my 15-year-old is doing so I can control that so that she will not be in contact with this kind of man. Because if she can find him on the internet, you know that she can find him in the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm that's really disheartening. But yeah, I pray to God I'm never asked to defend any type of.
So how smooth she got out and answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her slide on that.
I got another one for her. I got another one for her. But if you want to go first, go ahead.
I got one kind of on that same question. We were talking earlier this week about this, and one of the things we brought up, why didn't the media bring it out as soon as it came to light? Because we knew about the situation as far as, okay, he was texting a picture of himself with his child. We knew that. Why didn't we know he was texting it to a 15-year-old then?
Until after the marriage.
They wanted to wait till that Showtime documentary came out. You know what I'm saying? It all makes. I've been watching
money.
You know, I know how this thing works now. You know?
That's what I was.
Shouts out to Kerry Washington.
I don't think so. I think they waited until the lady distanced himself from her, who also happens to be working for Hillary Clinton, who also happens to be part of the people who controls this media, and they did it in steps. Okay, look, separate yourself from him now. It's now or never. Enough already. She did that weeks ago. Then a couple weeks back, it comes out that he may be in trouble because he took this picture with the child, holding his child. Now it comes out that same picture holding the child was for a 15-year-old girl. You think they didn't know that when it went down?
Exactly.
When she left him? Come on.
He's a predator, man.
You know what it is.
Not like a jinx predator.
Hey,
like a different predator.
Thank you.
So speaking of scandal and Kerry Washington, I got a question for you.
Wow, what a segue.
What would your scandal be?
What?
No, you gotta pick one. So would it be theft, adultery, fraud?
We say we do not approve this question.
No. It's like tax evasion, murder, stalking, sex in public, DUI, or money laundering.
Oh my God! Anything.
What would your scandal be?
We have to.
You have to pick one. No, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
We gotta start screening these questions.
I don't think any. I don't want any of them. What I want is Kerry's wardrobe. I don't want any of that. I think that there's any. Yeah, none of them. I want none of the above.
What do you think?
But she made it out of all of them. So
she sure did.
What do you think about the job De Blasio's doing? Because
I was waiting to ask that.
I got kind of mixed feelings about De Blasio.
I like him.
I mean, I like him.
He's just there.
I've never met the man. I like him as a person. You know, sometimes I like him as a person, but I don't. Some of the things, I don't know.
Like what?
I
think that he is well intentioned. I think, like you said, I think he's a nice guy, and I think that that's what many people voted for. I think that he has a good heart, and that's what translated with the voters. Folks believe that he wanted to make a difference, and I think that a number of the ideas that his administration has have proposed reflects the intention to do well. I don't know if they're always executed in a way that reflects the will of the people. I sit on a community board. Right. Our board, like I want to say 47 other community boards in this city, voted against his housing plan. Mm-hmm. Right. Not that we don't want housing, but we didn't want it in the manner in which it was being proposed. And so he gets a lot of backlash because the things that he's proposing is not rolled out in a way that makes sense to people. People like pre-K for all. However, there's a disparity between our daycare workers' pay and those who work for pre-K for all. I think it's about a $10,000 difference. Wow. Those things, they sound, I mean, if you're not involved in that world, you might not know that that's one of the big pushbacks. And when it rolled out initially, I think that pre-K ended at 2 o'clock, but there was no daycare that could pick up from 2 until 6 p.m. So there are just some problems with the rollout of some of his initiatives, but I think they're well-intentioned. I just don't think that they're always considering all of the needs of people. However, that's the problem with policy. It's oftentimes not fully thought out, and it does not roll out in a manner in which it meets all of our needs.
I feel deceived a little bit by him because, I think he changed my mind during the primaries. Okay. You know, and I had a lot of conversation with people who know him, and they changed my mind. And I don't usually change my mind like that. I'm kind of stubborn sometimes. That's what they say. But
shocker.
But he changed my mind, and I feel like since he's been in office, since he got there, it's not been about being a mayor no more. It's about being everything else. Like maybe your eye was on the next step already, and I just feel totally deceived by a lot of things. And you asked for an example. One of the examples is a court ruled to release the information on the history of the cops who killed and murdered Eric Gardner in Staten Island. De Blasio administration is blocking that on every level. Even the governor said, I don't know why he's blocking it. The court's already ruled. It wouldn't even be his fault. If you wanted to put up a front for the police union and your man Patrick Lynch, big mouth over there, then
yes,
if that's what you wanted to do, you did it by initially blocking it and making it go to court. You lost the court case, release it. Because now it's coming out that these cops who's going around killing black people in New York City are getting paid more in overtime and sitting behind desks making $20,000 and $30,000 more. They're getting rewarded. It's almost like, okay, sit down and take this seat for a second, but we're going to reward you by giving you extra money. So just hold that, okay? And things like that got me, I cannot wait for the next mayoral election. I don't care who's running against him.
I was going to say 2017 is right here.
Oh, I can't wait.
And that's going to be the biggest. He's got to talk to voters. He's going to have to defend all of these actions.
Yeah.
He's got the rollouts that didn't come out the way people wanted, the actions challenging requests for transparency.
Which he's blocking.
So he has to answer that.
No, he did the stop and frisk. Y'all would have.
But see,
and he replaced it with something else.
She touched on it earlier. She said he has good intentions. I feel he does have good intentions. But what bothers me is kind of what Pablo was saying. You look at the police situation, everything that was happening in New York City the past couple of years. De Blasio is married to a black woman. He has a black son. I know he has good intentions as it pertains to what's going on with the police. But he basically played a political game and let the police punk him into backing up. Where you're supposed to be the leader, you're their boss.
Right.
Like, that's what bothers me. It's like at the end of the day, I can't stand Rudolph Giuliani. I mean, I cannot stand him. You would never see him backpedal in that situation. Like, you work, I'm the boss. This is what's, like, come out and say it. And if you lose votes behind that, then you lose votes. Because he's losing votes behind backpedaling.
Yeah.
That's what's bothering me. Stand up and be a man.
And he's been able to skip over so many things by just not commenting on it or just being out of state or being somewhere else or doing something different. Like, come on, man. You can't fool people who's paying attention. You just can't do it. So it's not going to happen when it's time for election time. I don't know who's running against him. I don't know if the guy for the Brooklyn Borough president right now, I'm hearing certain names that's out there. But anybody running against you, man, you're going to have a tough time, especially in this room.
Yo, I'm scared to say this, but Cinemax, you got a question? I shout the detail. This is the first time. I don't think I've ever said this, but I'm kind of chilly in here. I'm a little cold. But
y'all want to go to a lover's marriage question?
I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna go with this. Go ahead.
All right.
Keep it
so,
PG. Not too crazy.
PG?
Not too crazy.
Okay.
Don't get crazy.
So, what would you be offended if your partner told you that they were thinking of someone else while you were having sex?
Definitely.
But a celebrity.
Let's say it's a celebrity.
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah, Cinemax, your self-esteem is low. She like, definitely? I wouldn't. Yes, your self-esteem is low.
Shut up. I'm just asking. This is just a question.
Would you?
Huh, P.S.?
Would you be offended?
I mean, it depends on who it is. If it's just a regular Jane, then. But if you
No, but a celebrity.
Would I think about something? Wait, you're asking
you be
me?
offended?
Would I be offended?
If a dude
no,
was rocking with like,
I wouldn't be offended. I wouldn't. I was thinking about somebody too. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Okay? It happens. It happens.
Yes.
Would I be offended? Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely be offended. I don't care who it is.
Pyro. You know I'm coming to you.
Yo, I mean, she gonna tell me after? Like, she gonna be like, yo, I was thinking about something. Like, if you be like, yo, damn, that was good. And she be like, yeah, I was thinking about Son from Power. I think I might be a little bit offended because I ain't tell you I was thinking about Ashanti.
But it was, see what you was. But it was good.
But I ain't tell you.
But what's the cool way to say that? Like, it's no cool way to say, you know.
I don't know.
Oh, look, so you could be like, have you ever thought about somebody else while we was together? That could be a cool way of saying it.
And you know what I'm saying? When y'all friends like that, you can
Right.
talk like that. You definitely.
Not right after.
See,
though.
but not right after. If it happened right after, you're like, yo, I was thinking of Omar, whatever his name is.
We need an Ottawa Ghost.
Ghost.
I'm sure I got Ghost of Mars a couple times.
I'm sure so too. I'm sure too.
You didn't answer the question though.
It's gone down after watching Power.
You would be offended?
I'm petty. I'm
I know.
offended of everything.
Simone, you was thinking about Ghost?
Whoa. What's the other guys? Ghost and somebody else. Who's like a couple white dudes too? She got the fever.
I told you.
The fever.
I told you. Yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush, Simone? Come over here.
Ghost,
Come over here.
Leave over here. It's Ghost. I'm telling you, it's Ghost.
Leave that happy home.
That's nice. My husband.
He's like, what's he saying?
Nice.
Good one.
She get off the couch tonight.
Good one.
I told you back. What's that song? Homeboy had. With the braids. D'Angelo.
Jesus.
Did the video?
How does it feel?
Yeah. Mo used to get up. I used to catch. I used to go to the bathroom. She up watching the video.
Yeah.
I'm like, you really sneaking out here to watch this video? You feel like numerous nights.
Christian, like, no, not my mother.
Yeah, she was.
You know me, I'm a hater. I'm like, well, you know, Ghost, he played that gay role in that What Colors movie. You know, I'm a hater. I'm going to throw some dirt on him. She's like genuine, too, on the low.
I use me too, Simone.
Jinx, so don't check it on your phone. What's going on? What's up?
Hey, I don't care who you like, who you thinking about, who you whatever. I don't care. As long as you don't drop the ball in bed,
So
we good.
The girl
You think about whatever you want.
Say, you remind me. I was thinking about Prince
Hey,
and all that stuff.
You be honored.
Was the sex?
Be honored.
Was it? Yeah, that's an honor. But was the sex good? That's the whole point.
Yeah, like Prince or the celebrity person brought out the best of him.
I could get. That's all I need.
Right?
I don't need nothing else. As long as what happens in the bedroom is good, you can think. I don't care.
I got to bring out the best in you, man. You can't be.
Hey.
That can't be the best sex we ever had.
Y'all friend right now. Y'all really friend right now because even if you doing it right there and they not getting you in the mood, you close your eyes and you fantasize about something You mean to tell me?
We not talking about that. We talking about if it's like the best mind-blowing sex that you ever had, and you come back and tell me the reason is because I was playing role games in my head. Nah. We. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, now we taking this somewhere.
We may have to watch other shows or get different artists. We can't listen to his music no more. Nothing.
Really?
Can't scream that Mickey name. Scream his name. Scream my boy. I don't give a god.
Scream somebody knows. See,
I'll be honest. As a back in high school, college, whatever, my thing was, yell my boy name. Let him know what's going on in here. Simple. Like, I really don't care as long as the situation is good.
Wait a jinx.
Listen, we got to wrap this up. But before we wrap it up, I just want to shout out Ashanti real quick. We miss you. Drop an album.
And D'Angelo fellow.
So how can people
go
popping right now. He gonna be popping for a minute. I'm starting to tell you.
You gotta kill him off the show.
How can people
shout out to Breezy? Happy birthday!
Oh word! Happy birthday, Breezy!
No doubt.
Friend to the room.
So listen, we're gonna give you the opportunity, Tremaine. First of all, we want to thank you
so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Clap it up. Tell everybody where they can find you, what they can do to help, anything. Just promote your stuff.
So I need everybody to come out and vote on November 8th.
Yeah. Yes.
Make sure they go all the way to the bottom of the ballot. Vote Tremaine Wright. We're asking you to vote 100% right for New York State Assembly in the 56 AD. We are at 401 Tompkins Avenue. Please pop in any Tuesday through Thursday, 12 to 4. We'll be taking volunteers. And also you can find us at TREMAINEWRIGHT.com.
All right. And anything you need us to do, any volunteers, we're there. Anytime you want a platform to get something off your chest, don't hesitate.
Excellent.
Just walk in. It's cool.
All right.
All right. We're going to check y'all next week. Remember, go to wswtc.com.
Yeah.
Purchase some merchandise. Anything you need is there.
Yeah. Check
next
us
week,
out.
Y'all.
We say what they can't.
Yep.